Think back to the beginning. She used to look at you differently. Her eyes lit up when you walked in the room. Her tone was softer, her body language open. Fast forward to now, and something's changed. She sighs when you talk. She argues more. She avoids your touch. Respect is gone. And the truth is, it didn't just disappear. You did something to lose it. Today, we're breaking down the exact behaviors that kill respect and how to stop being that guy. Respect dies the moment you make her opinion your oxygen, constantly seeking validation, checking her phone for reassurance, apologizing for things that don't need an apology. That desperation flips the dynamic. You stop being a man with his own frame, and you become a boy asking for permission to exist. Psychologically, this ties into what's called self-differentiation. People respect those who maintain their own identity, not those who dissolve into the other person. When your sense of self comes from her reactions, she knows you can't lead yourself, let alone a relationship. Picture this. She replies slower than usual. Instead of carrying on with your day, you spiral, sending 5 texts back to back. If you're blowing up her phone with 5 texts in a row, you're not being romantic. You're just giving her a preview of what a restraining order looks like. She was attracted to your drive, your focus, your sense of purpose. That ambition is what made her respect you in the first place. But when you make her your mission, everything flips. At first, it seems sweet, like you're so devoted. But eventually, it feels like babysitting a man who lost his own path. Psychology backs this up through the concept of intrinsic motivation. People respect those who pursue goals bigger than themselves. If you once talked about building your business, training for that competition, or pushing for that promotion, and now your biggest goal is keeping her happy, she starts seeing you as smaller than the man she met. She didn't fall for you because you were free all the time. She fell for you because you had something worth chasing. Without a mission, you're not leading, you're orbiting her. And no one respects someone who orbits. Respect evaporates when you can't control yourself. Anger outbursts, jealousy spirals, passive-aggressive comments. These are all signs of emotional instability. From a psychological standpoint, emotions are contagious. If you can't regulate yours, you project weakness. Leadership research is clear. Emotional regulation is one of the strongest predictors of respect. Who do you trust more? The man who stays calm under pressure, or the one who explodes over small things? When you snap because she didn't text back quickly, or you sulk because she had plans without you, you're not showing passion. You're showing a lack of control. Weakness doesn't invite respect. It invites contempt. And let's be honest. No woman has ever looked at a man sulking on the couch and thought, this is peak masculinity. One of the most underrated killers of respect is inconsistency. Saying you'll do something and not following through. Talking big but never executing. Respect is built on reliability, on being the kind of man whose word matches his action. Think about how many men promise they'll change a habit, improve themselves, or step up, and then, a week later, they've slipped back. Every broken promise chips away at trust. And when trust goes, respect follows. Consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't give you the dopamine hit of a grand gesture, but it's the foundation of authority. A man whose word is solid doesn't need to beg for respect. It's given automatically. Talk is cheap. In fact, most men should stop giving it away for free. Respect also dies when you allow people, especially her, to cross your boundaries without consequence. Maybe you let her raise her voice at you, interrupt you constantly, or disrespect your time. At first, you let it slide thinking, I don't want to start an argument. But what actually happens? You silently teach her that your standards aren't worth protecting. Here's a story you've probably seen play out. She cancels plans on you last minute, but if you did the same, she'd lose her mind. The double standard exists because you allowed it. People don't respect doormats. They walk on them. Psychologists call this boundary erosion. Every time you ignore a crossed line, your sense of self weakens, and so does the respect others have for you. Boundaries aren't walls to lock people out. They're fences that define where you stand. And when you erase those lines, you erase her respect too. And let's be clear, having boundaries doesn't mean turning into a dictator. It's not about barking orders. It's about calmly saying, "That's not how I operate," and meaning it. Because the second she realizes your word means nothing, you've basically signed up to be the emotional chew toy of the relationship. Trust me, that's a job no one's hiring for. Another way men lose respect is by assuming once you've earned it, you get to keep it forever. Respect isn't a trophy you stick on a shelf. It's more like rent, and the rent is due every day. Here's how it plays out. In the beginning, you put in effort. You carried yourself with discipline. You followed through. You showed ambition. Over time, you relax. You stop paying attention. You think, "She already respects me. Why would that change?" But human psychology doesn't work that way. Social exchange theory tells us relationships are dynamic. People are always reassessing your value, whether they admit it or not. If you stop showing up as the man she first respected, she won't see you the same way. Think of it like fitness. You don't get in shape once and then coast forever. Skip the workouts and the results fade. Respect is the same. It has to be maintained. And let's be honest, too many guys act like respect comes with a lifetime warranty. It doesn't. You're not AppleCare, you're just a man. And if you stop delivering, she stops respecting. Finally, respect fades when you stop growing. Remember, she was attracted to your potential, to your movement, to the man you were becoming. The moment you plateau, when every day looks the same and you stop improving yourself, the attraction shifts into boredom. Here's the trap. At first, stability feels good. You've got her, you've got a routine, life feels comfortable. But comfort slowly turns into stagnation, and stagnation kills respect. Take this example. In the beginning, you're hitting the gym, reading, working on your craft. A year later, you've swapped the gym for the couch, the books for scrolling, the ambition for video game marathons, and you wonder why she looks at you differently. There's a psychological term for this: hedonic adaptation. People adjust to whatever becomes normal. If the ambitious version of you becomes the past tense, she adapts to the new, stagnant you, and respect shrinks with it. It's not about being perfect, it's about momentum. The man who keeps leveling up is respected because he refuses to stay stuck. The man who stops moving, he's background noise in his own life. And let's be honest, if your biggest achievement this year was unlocking a new Netflix category, don't be shocked when she's not exactly swooning over your growth. Respect isn't lost in one dramatic moment. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Needy validation, abandoning your mission, losing emotional control, inconsistency, weak boundaries, stagnation. The good news, every single one of these can be fixed, but only if you stop pretending. It's her responsibility to keep respecting you. Respect starts with you. Respect yourself first, enforce your standards, and keep moving forward. The rest follows. If this resonated with you, do subscribe, because in a world full of noise, you need the code that actually works.